programs. I'm sure it's one of your least favorite subjects, but let's get through them anyway. Let's make sure we're clear about what we're seeing. And remember, a program can be one of how many things? How many things can a program be? Can it be one, two, or three different things? One, two, or three different things. What do you think? How many things can a program trade be? Program signal. Is it one, two, or three? Well, it could be three things. Very, very simply three things. And these are the three things that a program trade can be. Can we agree on these three things? It can be a futures buy program. It can be a frightener, which is a liquidity grab. And it can be a stock sell program. On the other side of it, we can have a sell program, sell futures program. It can be a frightener to get bottom edge liquidity. And it can also be a stock buy program. So when you see the green here, it can be any one of these three things. When you see the green here, it can be any one of these three things. When you see the green here, it can be any one of those three things. When you see the red here, it could be any one of those three things. So we want to try and figure out what one of these three things it actually is, right? Because that would be pretty useful, would it not? I think it would be. I think it would be. So we start looking for these, and we obviously try and build a reason why it might be. And the good thing is the stock buy programs or sell programs, we can just simply use our mega cap stocks because a lot of these program trades are going to be in the megas, right? If you start moving the megas, you build up a hell of a head of momentum, right? So if you can get into the megas, we should be able to tell the stock buy programs and sell programs because there should be a mega divergence available against the indexes, right? Should be. And that gives us a good idea that what we're seeing in the index is a stock buy program or sell program kicking in from a few minutes ago or from the previous 60 seconds if you're on a 1 minute chart. So let's take a look and see what we think about these as possibilities. So what do we make of what happened here? Well, there's a couple of things that we can also decide. First of all, did it have follow-through is always one of the big questions. Well, the answer to that was it never had any follow-through, right? It never had any follow-through at all. So if it didn't have any follow-through, what does that mean? Well, it could be grabbing or attempting to grab some liquidity because we've got a nice pivot price to the left-hand side. So it could be a liquidity grab just there, couldn't it? It could be something along those lines. So it's very difficult to read that and say it's not a grab of liquidity. However, we have had some strong buy programs in the background. There was a strong buy program here, would you agree? There's no doubt about what this one is. It has follow through, so there's absolutely 100% certain that we have a buy program at that price. Would you agree with that? There's no debate this one. We have a buy program there. So that's good because we don't have to bother questioning this as a level. We know that this is a real good level for us to now read. So we now get this one here. Now it looks like this is obviously, because remember the sell program isn't this candle. The sell program was this candle here, right? So it could well be that we did get a genuine sell program from that liquidity grab candle there. So they grabbed the liquidity here, put a sell program in here, and then that was the result, and they're now rotating 71s to 68s. This candle looks like we've got another buy program because it does push it through, and it comes from the middle price, not an ideal price point, is what it is. So I'm not sure what that one is. I'm almost definite about this one. What do you think this one is, guys? Well, it certainly didn't get any liquidity, so it can't be the frightener to get bottom edge liquidity, can it? So what is it then? What would you say that one looks like? It looks like a stock buy program. Now, why would it be a stock buy program? Because we've already got a futures buy program from the same level. It would seem reasonable that there's a stock buy program coming in here, wouldn't it? Because either we get a stock buy program followed by a futures buy program, or we get a futures buy program followed by a stock buy program. Why? Because one of the markets is lagging behind. And if it's a futures buy program, it's the stock market that will be lagging behind. You understand that? If it's a stock buy program, it'll be the futures market that's lagging behind. So when we get a futures program buyer here, we know that the market that's probably lagging behind is the actual stocks, and we would be looking for a stock buy program. Well, this is almost the perfect candle for it because the volume shouldn't be in the futures market. The volume is quite clearly not in the futures markets. Very, very low volume. Now, I know that we've got the big end of day volume there, so we can get rid of that. Still very low volume, right? So it's almost definite that this is a stock buy program because of the futures divergence. Now, we can check that by looking at our NVIDIAs of the world to see if the NVIDIAs were divergent against futures. Let's take a look. What do you think? Very strong story now, isn't it? Very strong story. So we've now got a very strong story that NVIDIA is now in a position that there is now a stock buy program taking place. You can see that this has gone up on that candle. Now, whilst it's gone down in this candle, it's still significantly divergent against the previous lows. This looks like a dead cert buying opportunity. This one, well, it's a good solid candle. It's certainly not got some small size to it. It doesn't take out day session highs. So it looks like this is a buy program coming in from this previous candle. You agree? Can we agree that that's a buy program there? The sell doesn't even come in halfway, and then the buyers come in again here. Looks like a buy program. So if it's a futures buy program, what would we expect to see next? A stock buy program. Do you agree? If we get a futures buy program, the next thing we would expect to see that we could get a trade from is a stock buy program. What does this look like here? Considering NVIDIA and Apple, Microsoft and Amazon are all going up, what does this look like here? Looks like a stock buy program, doesn't it? So that would be right. A stock buy program in the same location as a futures buy program. Seems very reasonable that that might be the case. And you could pick up an opportunity to start bidding into this higher print price area. And then we get another trade here. What do you think this is? Well, it has follow through. So it looks like this was a futures buy program. Do you agree? So let's mark off the futures buy program, which was this previous candle, remember? So this could be the futures buy program there. So in other words, this entire area outside of this line, because that was we don't know what that one was. We're not sure about that one. So we'll take that one out the way. So this is all the lines of futures buy programs, isn't it? You agree with that? These are all the lines of all those future buy programs and stock buy programs on a 1 minute chart for the last hour and a wee bit. So obviously this is going to be very, very interesting level going into the next 24 hours. As we go into the next 24 hours, does anybody see any tradable opportunities? Well, there was a nice early session trade here for a possible buy trade there off of one of the key levels. And how did the buy trade do into the London Open, guys? Any good? Any good? was $1,000 on the S&P. $1,000 on the S&P, which is pretty sexy. And, well, I think that's bloody marvellous, if you don't mind me saying so. And this has been the perfect little clip for Kim to record, which she hasn't done. So that's good news. And there you go. That's what an overnight buy program can lead to into the London session. And you can see that, well, it doesn't get any better than that, does it? I mean, I know there was only one ad in here, but we had plenty of market maker add-ins during that process. At least you knew what you were expecting to see prior to the London session coming out, or if you traded the Asia Pacific session, or even if you're in the US, these hours here are perfectly acceptable for you guys to keep trading. If you're trading in the evening in the US, if you're happy to be a trader in the evening session, I'm sure most of you are, so lots of opportunities to make some really good money here, Trent. And obviously since then it did get better as we got into the London Open. It did kick off again even further. And, you know, since then it's gone nowhere fast. And you can see that it's topped out eventually at 97s from a buy program trade at 70s. It's topped out at 97s. That's crazy good, isn't it? And again, it's just about paying very close attention to what's happening in here. The story isn't created just by one signal, is it? It's not just because they get a 1 minute buy program. It's the combination. This is not a 1 minute buy program. This is a sequence of trades that have all been taken as an area. All of these trades in the last hour are one trade effectively, because, you know, they all seem to be doing the same thing. It's a futures buy program into a stock buy program, into a futures buy program, into a stock buy program, into a futures buy program. They roll round into each other, giving you all the evidence that you need to prove that this is a really interesting trade level. And we do have some seriously interesting clues about what the levels are. Does it have follow through? Does it have zero follow through at all? Is it a spinner candle? These are all clues that allows us to determine which one of the elements these programs are. As we do these trades, we're now able to look at these and say, I know what this trade is. I know what this trade is. I know what this trade is. At least I've got a fair degree of knowledge. And if I don't know, I can always leave it alone until I do know. I can leave it alone for somebody else to figure out, because I don't need to trade everything all the time. But when I do see the opportunity, I now have the real money opportunity to play these trade ideas. And you can see that this results in a spectacular buy side only profit to the upside. 8 minutes to the cash open, guys. 8 minutes.